and welcome back to the channel. Today you find me out exploring Chichester. I'm going to take you for a walk round the city walls. Probably can't tell because we haven't got any ice here, but you might see it around. But still very cold in Sussex at the moment, but we have had a respite from the heavy rain that we've been experiencing. So I just grabbed this moment to get out somewhere where it wasn't too soggy and something a little bit interesting as well. As you're probably going to see, the sun's very low in the sky, so it's not a great time to be filming. Lots of shadows being cast, but it might help pick out some of the features that we've got here. So I'm actually standing right next to what used to be Chichester's amphitheatre. So Chichester being a Roman city, it had baths, temples, and of course an amphitheatre, and this is the location. Definitely doesn't look very spectacular now, but this would have been a hive of activity 2,000 years ago, I guess. So obviously lots been built up around it now, and this is located just outside of the city walls. So maybe here we'll be able to pick up the change in, the bits that are hidden underneath the grass. But to most people, and to me too, it just looks like another small park in the middle of a city. Again, with the low sun, it's going to sort of cause some glare on the camera, so not sure whether you'll be able to pick up some of this. And it's got this pathway cutting right the way through it. I think that over there where the dog roughly is, there is where the outside of the amphitheatre would have been. Just down here we've got a little information board, so if you are coming to Chichester and we're interested to come to this location, I'll just show you that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to head through the cattle market, or what used to be the cattle market for Chichester, and head on over to the East Gate, which is where we'll start our walk around the walls. So here's a little rendition of what it would have looked like. They've depicted it in brick, so maybe that's from some of the archaeological evidence they have of when it was there, but quite different from today now, all of these sort of fields around it. So heading on this way to the cattle market. It's Chichester's old cattle market, now a modern day car park, and still used for markets. They're just packing up and moving off over there. So yeah, you do find on a Saturday and a Sunday. I'm not sure if it happens during the week. Worthing sometimes has a Wednesday market, but not sure in Chichester. But yeah, still have a market here. Back in the old days, obviously Chichester was a market town, hence the market cross, and hence the name. So this was Novi Magnus Regorium, so meaning, or prior to being called Chichester, it was called Nova Magnus Regorium, which basically meant the new market town of the Regini. The Regini being the tribe that lived in this area. So it's going to get very noisy and very busy as I head in this direction, but I'll pick you up at the East Gate. So these lines here mark where the old East Gate used to be. and we just have to turn around here and we are up on the walls.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's great.
The features of being up on the walls is it gives you a great view. And we've got some great architecture in Chichester. This is the old, I think, shipman building. I think there was a laboratory in there at some point. Now been converted, like everything these days, into a block of flats. Great view of the cathedral in the distance if the camera can pick it up due to the low sun. So as you can see here, the modern day use for the walls is for promenading and tourist attraction. It's quite good when you're on the walls to see quite how wide the walls can be. They're 7 meters high in places, and that was enough to deter people from clambering up bare hands. I'm sure they could still scale them with other equipment, but if we have a quick look over here, just gives you a bit of perspective on actually how high we are. Another lovely old building to my left. Almost looks like a barn, but or a church. Again, probably converted into flats or a living area. Some more modern houses here. So the walls today have been removed to allow access for cars. One such place is here. So here we find ourselves in Priory Park, and this is the old castle mound here. So the history of the walls is that when the Romans had Chichester, this was just a mud bank with a wooden stock on it, and then about 300 the Normans decided to build what we see today, these big fortifications. They also added the castle, the cathedral, and obviously brought a bit more structure and made it more defensive. So when the Romans were here, there obviously was a defensive element, but it was more of a marketing place, somewhere where people could trade very safely. But as if you know anything about English history, the Normans were great castle builders, and nothing remains of this castle. I believe it was a wooden structure rather than a flint or stone one. Also, if you are coming to this park, my daughter loves this park for the reason that the squirrels are extremely friendly and can be hand fed. Just another example here, and down there. But anywhere around this children's play area, they can come quite close up to you. And on my daughter's channel, she's got videos of her hand feeding these little squirrels. Maybe I'll put a link down in the description. So in the centre of this we have the Guildhall, currently used generally for weddings and things like that, no longer used in its original format, and small children's area right down there, and a cricket ground as well. If you are coming to this place as a visit, just to be mindful, this park doesn't allow you to take dogs into it, so if you do have a dog, you can mark this off your to-do list. As I said previously, the benefit of this wall is you get great views outside of the city. We've got a row of grand Victorian houses here. My last video was down at this park here, which again I said was a Victorian thing. So Chichester actively encourage you to walk on the city walls, and they put these little notice boards all the way around the city. So that's what they imagined the castle on top looking like, a wooden structure, and in the background the cathedral being built. Just a little picture of what the city used to look like. In the centre, the market cross, and then you've got these main roads radiating out from the market cross. Those roads are still there today and forms the basis of the city. We are in the northeast area and going to be heading over in that direction. So right here we have a bowls green, and Sussex is keen on bowls. The town I come from, Worthing, is where they used to have the national championships. So I'm not sure where it's moved off to, but very perfectly flat lawn there for playing bowls on. Down here we have an old statue. Just pop down so you can have a look at it. So this statue used to be in the centre of town, and I'll put down on the screen the location it used to be in, because I can't recall it myself at this point. But yeah, got moved here to protect it and everyone to see. Hello. Hey, Mr. Squirrel. I haven't got Ray with me today, so I haven't got any nuts for you. I'll bring her back when her leg's better. Okay? So in the area around the Guildhall, they've also been doing some archaeology, and they found evidence of houses being in this area. Probably sort of wooden structures, but yeah, the footprints of the houses, the older houses, possibly Roman ones, are still just under the surface in this park. Some great trees here. This one looks like it's been hacked back, possibly dead, but like most of the trees at the moment, I think they're just hibernating, waiting for spring to come along. So if you're looking to tackle this walk, I believe it's 1.8, 1.9 miles to walk around the city walls, so shouldn't be too taxing, and got good footpaths here, so if you're not good on your feet, you'll still be able to manage this. Looks like we've got some reworking being done in this section of the park. Sort of taken down a wall. Very interesting. Have to come back here again and see what they've see what they're doing. So we've got another notice board here. Old picture of the park, bowling green I was talking about, and Castle Mound there. Calling this the Rotary Club Sensory Garden, but it looks like that's all being changed. When you're over in this section of the wall, I've featured it in one of my other videos, but there is some old ruins here, part of the hospitarian. So we don't have to go too far before we pick up the walls again. This would be the location of the North Gate. I'll have a look to see if there's anything to mark where it used to be. Yep, right here. So this is where the walls used to cross, and there would have been a gatehouse here. Hopefully the camera will be able to pick it up. There's a little picture of what the old gatehouse used to look like. Just down this road at the end here would be the market cross, just out of sight. Little marking on the road there, or pavement, just to let you know that you're still on the right trail. So they do guided tours of these walls, and I was hopeful before I recorded this video that I might be able to get myself out on one of those tours, but repeating myself, work, life seems to get in the way, so I just grab the time that I can to get out and film. The old buildings that you can get the sight of from up here. So we found the next information board. This one talks about the war with France. So by the 14th century, Chichester walls were already 1,000 years old and in a ruinous state. These were troubled times, with the French throne being contested by royal houses in both France and England. This sparked a series of wars that lasted more than 100 years. During this time, Chichester's walls were repeatedly repaired under threat of French invasion, and a new 50-foot wide ditch was dug around the city. So over the years, the walls have had to give way to traffic. Not sure how old this pass is, but it gives you a good perspective on how wide the walls are.